kids, welcome back to my channel. My name's Lizzie. Today we are finishing up and doing the second half of our 50 America's 50 states. And we are starting on N. And since there's a lot of them, I'm going to get right into it. I'll show you the pictures after I read each segment and a little bit before. We're starting with Nebraska. This is their state flag, if you can see it. The name Nebraska comes from an Oto-Indian word meaning flat water. Nebraska has some of the country's best farm and ranch lands. Its nickname, Cornhusker State, comes from the way corn used to be harvested by hand husking before machinery was used. Have you ever tried Kool-Aid? It was created in Hastings, and it's the official soft drink of Nebraska. Lincoln is home to the only roller skating museum in the world. The Lied Jungle in Omaha is the world's largest indoor rainforest. Did you know the world's largest porch swing is in Hebron and it can seat 25 adults? Oh my God. So what else are they known for? World's largest woolly mammoth fossil was found in Nebraska. Of course, they're known for their corn and soybeans, their white-tailed deer, their honeybees. Other cities you might heard of is Lincoln, Grand Island, and of course the capital, Omaha. Super cute, right? Little woolly mammoth. All right, Nevada. That is Nevada's state flag right there. Oh wait, I forgot to read Nebraska's facts. Their capital is Lincoln, and they became the 37th state on March 1st, 1867. Their bird is the western meadowlark, and their flower is the goldenrod. Sounds like a cool flower. Mammal is the white-tailed deer. Their insect is the honeybee. Their gemstone is blue agate, and their fish is the channel catfish. Ooh, catfish. All right, let's go to Nevada. The capital is Carson City. It became the 36th state on October 31st, 1864. Its nickname is the Silver State. Their animal is the desert bighorn sheep, and their bird is the mountain bluebird. Oh, I love bluebirds. Their flower is the sage bush. Hey, I burn sage all the time. Their reptile is the desert tortoise, and their metal is silver. Did you know kangaroo rats in the Death Valley Desert can live their entire life without drinking a drop of liquid? Oh, wow. Nevada is the driest state because it is mostly desert. Black Rock Desert is thought to be one of the Earth's flattest surfaces. Highway 50 at 287 miles long is called the longest highway in America. There is still snow in Nevada. It is on top of the Sierra Nevada mountains and attracts skiers from around the world. The Spanish word for these snow-capped mountains gave Nevada its name. Silver and gold were discovered here in 1859. The two main cities are Las Vegas and Reno, where many people go today hoping to strike it rich in casinos. What is Nevada known for? The Hoover Dam, desert bighorn sheep, of course, casinos and dice and playing cards. Looks like gold, largest gold producer in the nation, and they're known for their skiing. And cities that you might have heard of is Reno, Carson City, and Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas! That's in Nevada. All right, let's move to New Hampshire. That is their state flag right up here. Their capital is Concord, and they became the 9th state on June 21st, 1788. Their motto is live free or die. I like that motto. Their animal is the white-tailed deer. Their flower is pink lady slipper. Cool. Their tree is white birch. I love white birch. I have a piece over there. Native Americans used to make canoes out of it. Their fruit is pumpkin, and their amphibian is spotted newt. New Hampshire, known for the Granite State, for its many granite hills and quarries, is one of the original 13 colonies. New Hampshire was first named North Virginia, then New England, and then finally New Hampshire. Although a small state, it is over 40,000 miles of rivers and streams. The White Mountains take up about 25% of New Hampshire. There, you can see up to 130 miles away on a clear day from the top of the 6,288-foot Mount Washington. Wow! So what are they known for? Ooh, maple syrup producer. They're famous Mount Washington. They're covered bridges. They're known for their skiing. Other cities you might have heard of besides Concord is Manchester and Nashua. New Jersey. Their state flag is there. Their capital is Trenton. They became the third state on December 18th, 1787. They're nicknamed the Garden State. Their animal is the horse. Their bird is the eastern goldfinch. Their flower is the violet. Their insect is the honeybee. Tree is the red oak. And their fruit is blueberry. One of the 13 colonies, New Jersey is mostly open land with farms and woods. Most people think of the activities along the Jersey Shore's beaches, boardwalks, and amusement parks when they think of New Jersey. Atlantic City and Cape May are popular recreation spots. Many Revolutionary War battles were fought in New Jersey. The 1776 Battle of Trenton was a key American victory in the war. So what is New Jersey known for? Other than the Jersey Shore TV show? The honeybees, their beach resorts, Atlantic City, which is where people go to gamble, their horses, their blueberries. Very cool. Let's go on to New Mexico. There's their flag for you. Their capital is Santa Fe, and they became the 47th state on January 6, 1912. Their nickname is Land of Enchantment. Their bird is the greater roadrunner. Their flower is the soap tree yucca. Soap tree yucca. Their insect is the tarantula hawk wasp. Ugh, that sounds scary. Their vegetable is the chili pepper. Super hot. And their aircraft is the hot air balloon. Spanish explorers named New Mexico in 1540. This state is known for its Native American history and art, deserts, caves, ancient dwellings, cowboys, and cattle drives. Taste Pablo is famous for its 1,000-year-old adobe buildings where people still live today. An orphan bear cub from New Mexico was the model for forest fire prevention symbol. Smokey the bear. I love Smokey. He's like, put your fires out. Prevent forest fires. They used to do commercials. I don't know if they do them anymore, but when I was little, Smokey the bear was very popular. All right. Ooh, let's move on to my state, New York. And this is our flag right here. I see this all the time. Do you know where I mostly see them? In rest stops along the highway. The capital is Albany. We became the 11th state on July 26, 1788, which was just the other day. Our animal is the beaver, and Lord knows there's enough of them around here. Our insect is the ladybug. Our tree is the sugar maple, because they make delicious maple syrup. Our fruit is apples. Yes, your Macintosh apples. Our beverage is milk. Yes, we have lots of dairy farms in New York. We're not just New York City. Did you know the Big Apple is the nickname for New York City, one of the biggest cities in the world? An old saying in show business was, there are many apples on the tree, but only one big apple. New York City is considered one of the best places in the world for fun things to do, so it became known as the Big Apple. There are a lot of fun things to do in New York. From skyscrapers to waterfalls, New York State has it all. Adirondack Park is bigger than Yellowstone, which is true. I've been there so many times. Glacier, Yosemite, and Grand Canyon parks combined. Yep, we have lots of land. Over 750,000 gallons of water go over Niagara Falls every second. Ellis Island in New York Harbor was where people from other countries who wanted to live in America entered the U.S., which is a lot of my Irish and Scottish immigrants came right in from New York, and we stayed here. Well, we moved to Syracuse, but we stayed in the same state. The nearby Statue of Liberty is a welcoming symbol of freedom and democracy. It was a friendship gift from the France to the U.S. What are we known for? I mean, there you have it. Pizza. Our dairy farming, our subway systems, the Big Apple, the first American chess tournament. Other cities you might have heard of is Syracuse, Buffalo, and Albany. Let's move to North Carolina. There's their state flag right there. Their capital is Raleigh. I always say that wrong. He's in so much trouble. Become the 12th state on November 21st, 1789. Their carnivorous plant is the Venus flytrap, which is super cool. We actually have one at Beaver Lake near us, and they actually eat bugs. Like, comes right out of the plant. It's scary. Their bird is the cardinal. Their dog is the plothound. Their flower is the dogwood. And their reptile is the eastern box turtle. Their mammal is the gray squirrel. The first English child born in America, Virginia Dare, was born in Roanoke Island, North Carolina in 1587. Do you know the story of Roanoke Island's lost colony? Yeah, I do. I've been studying it my whole life. Sometime between 1587 and 1590, a group of English settlers mysteriously vanished. The only clue was the word Croatian carved on a tree. My throat closed. Many think the settlers went to live with the friendly Croatian Indians, but no one has been able to solve the mystery. The Bitmore Estate in Asheville is America's largest home, with 255-room chateau and enormous gardens. Wow. Did you know in 1903 at Kitty Hawk Beach, the Wright brothers made the first successful plane flight ever by man? Woo! So what are they known for? Their strawberries. Yummy! Their resort beaches, their furniture company, and they're the largest producers of sweet potatoes in the United States. Other cities you might have heard of is Greensboro and Charlotte. Charlotte is a very old city. Let's move to North Dakota. There's their flag right there. Their capital is Bismarck, and they became the 39th state on November 2nd, 1889. Their nickname is the Rough Rider State. Their bird is the western meadowlark. Their flower is the wild prairie rose, which is super pretty. Their tree is the American elm. Their fruit is the choke cherry, and their beverage is milk. Not many people in North Dakota Not many people live in North Dakota because the northern plains were one of the last areas in the country to be settled. The word Dakota means friend. Historic areas in North Dakota include fur trade posts, military posts, battlefields, trails, and homesteads. Many historic sites in North Dakota are closed to visitors out of respect for Native Americans who hold some of these places sacred. Every other state in America has more trees than North Dakota, which leaves a lot of land for its many grain farms and cattle ranches. North Dakota grows enough soybeans to make 212 billion crayons each year. Wow, they make crayons. What are they known for? Their cattle ranching, their sunflowers, their milk, The stone... Oh... That's a Native American... or we don't call it that because it's a bad tradition, but they look like... Native Americans don't say that word. But it looks like a giant triangle up to the sky. Soybeans, they're known for their rodeo cowboys. All right, let's move on to Ohio. There's their flag down there. Interesting. Their capital is Columbus. They became the 17th state on March 1st, 1803. Their bird is the cardinal. Their flower is the red carnation. Their wildflower is the white truman. And their insect is ladybug. Their tree is the buckeye. Their fossil is trilobite. And their beverage is tomato juice. Did you know ancient tribes of mound builders left more than 6,000 burial mounds and forts in the Ohio area? It's probably really haunted. Between the Ohio River on its southern border and Lake Erie on its northern border, it is no surprise that the name Ohio comes from the Iroquois word that means great water. For many years, no one really lived in northwestern Ohio because it was a wilderness named the Great Black Swamp. Some settlers decided to clear the trees and dig ditches until they drained the swamp, then turned them into Ohio's best farmlands. The Pro Football Hall of Fame is in Canton. Cleveland is home to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. What are they known for? America's first hot dog. Their Football Hall of Fame, their ladybugs. They also invented the first ever traffic light. And rubber tires. Wow. All right, let's go on to Oklahoma. There's their little state flag right there. Super cute. Their capital is Oklahoma City. They became the 46th state on November 16th, 1907. Their animal is the buffalo. We have a lot of buffalo here too. Their fur bearer is the raccoon. Their bird is the scissored tail flycatcher. And their game bird is the wild turkey. Their amphibian is the bullfrog. And their wildflower is the Indian blanket. Did you know the National Cowboy Hall of Fame is located in Oklahoma City? Oklahoma is named for two Choctaw Indian words. Okla, which means people, and Huma means red. More than 39 Native American Indian tribes and nations live here. Oklahoma grew through oil wells and the sale and settlement of its land. Pioneers lived in early prairie houses called soddies, and they were made from sod, dirt, and grass blocks is what sod is. The last standing original sod house is now the Sod House Museum. Oklahoma has the most man-made lakes in America, coming in at 200. More circuses stay in Oklahoma for the winter than anywhere else. What are they known for? Their white-tailed deer, their wild turkey, and their buffalo. And another city you might have heard of is Tulsa. Let's move to Oregon. That's their flag right there. Their capital is Salem. They became the 33rd state on February 14th, 1859. Their crustacean is the Dungeness crab. Their bird is the western meadowlark. Their fruit is the pear. Their rock is the thunder egg genode. And their tree is the Douglas fir. Actually, Douglas fir makes some nice furniture. Their nut is the hazelnut. Did you know the world's smallest park, Mill Ends Park, is a circle 2 feet across and was created in Portland on St. Patrick's Day for leprechauns and snail races. That's cute. Using covered wagons, many pioneers traveled thousands of miles across America to get to the west coast using the Oregon Trail. They arrived in a place of amazing natural beauty. Scenic Silver Falls State Park has the highest number of waterfalls in the U.S. at 1,943 feet deep. The Crystal Blue Crater Lake is the deepest lake in the country. The Columbia River Gorge is considered by many to be the best place in the world for windsurfing. The forested mountains make Oregon a leader in wood products. What are they known for? Inventing the snowmobile, windsurfing, their Silver Falls State Park, International Museum of Carousel Art, and their Hexita Head Lighthouse. Other cities you might have heard of is Eugene, Medford, and Portland. All right, let's go to Pennsylvania. I used to live in Pennsylvania too. The capital is Harrisburg. It became the second state on December 12th, 1787. Their animal is the white-tailed deer. Their game bird is the ruffled grouse. Their dog is the Great Dane. It's a huge dog. Their flower is the mountain laurel. And their insect is the firefly. And their beverage is milk. Yes, lots of dairy farms in Pennsylvania as well. Did you know Pennsylvania is home to 32 statues to honor... I could never say this. Punxsutawney Phil, the groundhog who every Groundhog Day predicts how much longer winter will last. So basically the first beaver they ever used to predict if spring is coming early or late, they had a weird name. It's really long. Full of history, Pennsylvania is one of the original 13 colonies. Philadelphia is home to the Liberty Bell, Constitution Hall, and the first published magazine in America, the American Magazine. Gettysburg is the site of one of the Civil War's most important battles, the South's final try to invade the North. President Abraham Lincoln also delivered his famous speech here, the Gettysburg Address, opening with 407 years ago. Steel and farming are two of its biggest industries. The Amish are a group of people who live in Pennsylvania without the use of modern technology like electricity. Yes, I lived near the Amish. I had to clean up their horse poop, because they don't clean up their own horse poop. Just for everybody in the world to know. Amish don't clean up no poop. Maybe they don't feel like they need to. What are they known for? Their steel industry, their Liberty Bell, Hershey's chocolate, who I also worked for. It was one of my favorite jobs, packing all the candy, making the candy. I loved every minute of it. Dairy is what they're known for mostly. Let's go to Rhode Island. That's their flag right there. Super cute. Their capital is Providence, and they became the 13th state on May 29th, 1790. Their bird is the Rhode Island Red. Their drink is coffee milk. What's that? Their flower is violet. Their fish is the striped bass. Their tree is the red maple. And the shell is the quahog. Quahog. I think that's how you say it. Did you know the world's largest bug is big, blue, and 58 feet long, and much bigger than a real termite? It is on the roof of New England's Pest Control in Providence. The smallest state in the U.S., Rhode Island, was the last of the original 13 colonies to become a state. It is nicknamed the Ocean State because you can get to the ocean from anywhere in the state in less than an hour's drive. Did you know Rhode Island has the largest proportion of artists of any state in the country? The town of Wickford celebrates these artists by hosting an arts festival every July. What's your favorite kind of art? What is Rhode Island known for? Their whale watching, sailing, the flying horse carousel, tennis hall of fame, and polo. Like horse polo. Super cool. Alright guys, we're almost done. South Carolina is next. There's the flag right there. Their capital is Columbia, and they became the 8th state on May 23rd, 1788. Their hospitality beverage is tea. Their bird is the Carolina wren. Their flower is the yellow jessamine, and their snack is the boiled peanut. Their tree is the palmetto, and their fruit is peach. Famous for southern cooking and growing cotton, Southern Carolina was one of the original 13 colonies. The first tea farm in the U.S. was created in 1890 near Somerville. The Civil War began in 1861 when the federal Fort Sumner in the Charleston Harbor was attacked by Confederates. South Carolina has the palmetto tree on its flag because this tree helped them during the Civil War. A fort built out of palmetto tree wood absorbed cannonballs fired by the British. So South Carolina won the battle. Nice. Did you know Myrtle Beach is the city that lies in the center of the Grand Strand? More than 60 miles of uninterrupted beaches on the South Carolina's Atlantic Ocean coast. Myrtle Beach, one of the most popular vacation spots in the country, receives more than 10 million visitors every year. What are they known for? Their beaches, of course. Their peanuts, sailboats, and the largest ginkgo farm in the world. And of course, their peaches. Let's move to South Dakota. That's their flag down there. I like their color. It's kind of like teal. Their capital is Pierre, and they became the 40th state on November 2nd, 1889. Their animal is the coyote. Their mineral is the rose quartz. Their fish is the walleye. Their tree is the Black Hills spruce. Their fruit is blackberry, and their sport is rodeo. South Dakota is well known for Mount Rushmore, a huge sculpture carved in the Black Hills honoring Presidents Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln, and Theodore Roosevelt. Another mountain sculpture, the world's largest, is still being built in the Black Hills. This Crazy Horse Memorial honors the heritage of North American Indians. Bison or buffalo used to roam freely in the state, but now live in large herds in many state parks for protection from hunting. Did you know if the presidents on Mount Rushmore were real men, they would stand 465 feet tall? Woo! What are they known for? Of course, their rose quartz, their buffalo, their potatoes, their corn, and of course the monuments. Other cities you might have heard of is Sioux Falls and Rapid City. Let's move on to Tennessee. There's Tennessee's flag right there. The capital is Nashville, and it became the 16th state on June 1st, 1796. Their gem is the Tennessee River pearls. Their bird is the mockingbird. Their insect is the ladybug. Their tree is the tulip polar. And their fruit is the tomato, and their wild animal is the raccoon. Did you know Reelfoot Lake is known as the turtle capital of the world? It has thousands of sink pots, sliders, mud, and map turtles. Ooh, I like turtles. Many people visit rock star Elvis Presley's home and gravesite at his estate in Graceland. They also sing a song called Davy Crockett, the famous Tennessee soldier who wore a coonskin cap. Speaking of music, the capital city, Nashville, is known as the home of country music. The name Tennessee comes from the name of the Cherokee Indian village, Tansy. What are they known for? They're Nashville's Grand Ole Opry. It's a theater. Their horses, ladybugs, and the Great Smoky Mountains, and of course, turtles. Let's move on to Texas. There's Texas state flag right there. The capital is Austin, and they became the 28th state on December 29th, 1845. Their bird is the mockingbird. Their flower is the bluebonnet, which is actually really pretty. Their insect is the monarch butterfly, also really pretty. Their tree is the pecan tree. Their fruit is the Texas red grapefruit, and their vegetable is 1015 sweet onion. Did you know more species of bats live in Texas than in any other part of the United States? Oh my goodness. Texas is the second biggest state in the country behind Alaska. Spain, France, Mexico, and the U.S. Confederacy all owned Texas at some point in history. In 1836, the Alamo was the site of a famous battle between Mexico and Texas. Texas is famous for oil, natural gas, and cowboys. The Johnson Space Center in Houston is the headquarters for NASA. Using space flights, NASA tries to answer questions about space. The name Texas comes from an Indian word for friends. What are they known for? Their monarch butterfly, their space industry, cowboys, cattle ranching, and sweet onions and bats. Other cities you might have heard of besides Austin is Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas. They do everything bigger in Texas, so they say. Let's go to Utah. That's their flag right there. Their capital is Salt Lake City, and they became the 45th state on January 4th, 1896. Their flower is the sago lily. Their mineral is copper. Their tree is blue spruce, which makes an excellent Christmas tree. Their vegetable is the Spanish sweet onion. Did you know the average annual snowfall in Salt Lake City mountains is 500 inches? Whew, I thought we got a lot of snow. Utah's name comes from the Ute Indian tribe. Later, Brigham Young led Mormon pilgrims into Great Salt Lake Valley in 1847. The Mormons were busy as bees settling in, which gave Utah its nickname, the Beehive State. The Great Salt Lake is 3 to 5 times saltier than the ocean because water does not drain from it. There is so much salt, people float like corks because the salt holds them up in the lake. Wow. In the southern desert area are naturally formed wonders like sandstone arches and brilliantly colored spires. Like that. Right there. What are they known for? Their copper mining, their sweet onions, their national parks, their beehives, skiing. Did I say that? Let's go to Vermont. That's their flag down there. Almost like ours. And New York, I mean. Capital, Montpelier. I'm so bad with states. Became the 14th state on March 4th, 1791. Their animal is the Morgan horse. The bird is the hermit thrush. Their flower is red clover. Their insect is the honeybee. Their tree is the sugar maple. And their butterfly is the monarch. The name Vermont comes from 2 French words, vert and green. Vert, which means green, and mount, which means mountain. Dairy farming and tourism are Vermont's major industries. Tourists visit Vermont to see leaves turn gold, red, and amber in the fall, and to see snow-covered mountains in the winter. Vermont produces more maple syrup than any other state. Being one of the coldest states in the country, Vermont sometimes is too chilly for snow in the winter. The air becomes too cold and cannot hold the moisture that makes snow. That happens to us too, where I live. Did you know the first postage stamp used in the United States was made in Brattleboro in 1876? So they made the first stamp. Let's go on to Virginia. Oh, okay. That's Virginia's flag right there. Their capital is Richmond. They became the 10th state on June 25th, 1788. Their bat is the Virginia big-eared bat. Their flower is the American dogwood. Their bird is the cardinal, and their fish is the brook trout. The first English village in America was Jamestown, founded in 1607. Presidents George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison were from Virginia. Tobacco has been grown in Virginia for hundreds of years. The first peanuts grown in America were from Virginia. Every year, many people visit Mount Vernon, George Washington's old family home. Did you know wild peonies roam freely on Astorgate Island, Virginia, as they have for centuries. Wild ponies. I love wild ponies. Probably won't let me pet them though. What are they known for? The U.S. Navy's Atlantic Fleet or the naval ship. Peanuts, brook trout. Other cities you might have heard of is Alexandria, Virginia Beach, Roanoke. Let's move on to Washington, D.C., which there's their state flag right there. Washington, District of Columbia, is located on the Potomac River between Maryland and Virginia. Washington, D.C. is not a state but a federal district set up to be home to the government for all of the United States. Became capital of the United States on June 11th, 1800. They have 7 national monuments, and the museum is the National Air and Space Museum and the world's most popular at that, with more than 9 million people visiting every year. Wow. Let's go down to Washington. There's their flag right there. The capital is Olympia. Became the 42nd state on November 11th, 1889. I have a lot of family members with that birthday. The vegetable is the Walla Walla sweet onion. That's so funny. Walla Walla. Bird is the willow goldfinch. Their fish is the steelhead trout. Their tree is the western hemlock. And their fruit is apple. Almost 3 miles high, Washington's highest mountain, the 14,410-foot Mount Rainier, is visible from 100 miles away. It is also one of the world's largest volcanoes and last erupted about a century ago. Immense mountains and lush evergreen forests make mountain climbing, cross-country skiing, and snowshoeing popular activities. With the Pacific Ocean on its western shore, Washington is a major trading state with Alaska, Canada, and the Pacific Rim. Most people live in the western part of the state near the Puget Sound area. What are they known for? Their Walla Walla sweet onions, apples, Mount Rainier, skiing, steelhead trout, and the fishing industry. You might have heard other cities like Seattle. All right, West Virginia, last page, everyone. That's their flag. The capital is Charleston, and they became the 35th state on June 20th, 1863. Their animal is the black bear. Their bird is the cardinal. Their flower is the big laurel. My mouth is getting tired. The tree is the sugar maple. The fruit is the golden delicious apple. It's so yummy. We have golden delicious here. Their butterfly is the monarch. Did you know nearly 75% of West Virginia is covered by forests? West Virginia is nicknamed the Mountain State. The average altitude is 1,500 feet above sea level, making it the highest state east of the Mississippi River. West Virginia used to be a part of Virginia before it became its own state. The coal mining industry is an important part of West Virginia's history. All right, let's go down to Wisconsin. There's their flag right there. The capital is Madison, and they became the 30th state on May 29th, 1848. Their rock is the red granite. Their animal is the badger. Their bird is the robin, and their flower is wood violet. Their tree, sugar maple, yummy. And their grain is corn. Wisconsin is called America's Dairyland because it is a top producer of milk, cheese, and butter. In fact, most Wisconsin residents wear funny hats that look like cheese and call themselves cheeseheads. People from all over the country visit the famous Wisconsin Dells, tall sandstone cliffs and unique rock formations on the Wisconsin River formed by melting glaciers. Milwaukee is home to the Harley-Davidson, the most famous motorcycle company in the world. Harley motorcycles are nicknamed hogs. Last one, Wyoming. Oh, I like their flag. It looks like a little buffalo. Their capital is Cheyenne, and they became the 44th state on July 10th, 1890. Their flower is the Indian paintbrush. Their mammal is the buffalo. Their bird is the meadowlark. Their reptile is the horned toad. Their tree is the plains cottonwood. And their sport is rodeo. Millions of visitors come to the first national park, Yellowstone, each year. It is home to more geysers than any other place on Earth, including Old Faithful, which erupts on a predictable schedule. Wyoming has vast plains in the east and mountains in the west. Wyoming has the lowest population of any U.S. state. Wyoming was the first state to give women the right to vote and elect a female governor. Woo! Yay, Wyoming! For that, you get a thumbs up, and I'm glad we're ending on Wisconsin. What are they known for? Their buffalo, Old Faithful Geyser, coal mining. I know it's a lot of information thrown at you, but I hope you enjoyed it. The next one we'll do a fun story, but I am going to keep sneaking in these educational ones. I hope you like it. Please give this a like, hit the subscribe button, share this with any of your friends, and you know what's coming. Be good to your teachers or your daycare providers. Be good to your parents and your siblings and other kids. Be good to the elderly, the sick. Listen and mind police officers and firemen and EMTs. But most importantly, take care of yourself and be nice to yourself and love yourself. Give yourself a hug, kids. You can do it. I do it all the time. So what? We're weirdos. At least we feel good, right? See you all next time. Bye.